And hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Geek Bytes podcast. I am Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
And every single podcast we bring you the week's Geek and Tech news, discuss that news, of course, anything else that we are interested in that week. And this week we're going to be talking about
Pokemon PvP. You know what that means. Nintendo Switch news, the Voldermort movie, Star Wars stuff, the movie trailer showdowns, and much, much more.
Absolutely. Of course, we begin our show though with Geek News. And our first story is going to be about Pokemon Go. This summer, there's going to be a huge update to that game. So if you only played it when it first came out and you got kind of bored because there wasn't much to do besides drive around and battle gyms and catch things when you weren't supposed to.
Like falling off the cliffs or getting hit
walking around, yeah. Then this is going to be a nice update for you. Apparently there's going to be not only introduction of legendary Pokemon like Mewtwo, those Zapdos birds, and a bunch of other creatures. There's also going to be adding on player versus player content. So you will be able to battle your friends and not just the people you leave at a gym. So you might be out, walking around one day, see someone else staring at their phone, not watching where they're going, and you're like, oh, there was another trainer. I'm going to jack his Pokemon. Yeah. And, I mean, digitally, no violence, please. That's already happened, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So that is the story. I mean, there's still about 65 million subscribers for Pokemon Go, so it's still a rather popular game.
It's still a thing. It's a trend for the hardcore. They stuck around since day one. With me, I'm going to be honest, I jumped off the bandwagon after a while because it was like, all right.
This is the thing, and you explored the content, and it's not like there was a huge single-player campaign or anything. It's just, those few things, and it's very trendy. Augmented reality has had a nice buzz. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the, buzz died down because people just ran out of things to do.
It became repetitive.
Yeah. I mean, when somebody captures all the Pokemon around the world, that's kind of a signal of, okay, yeah, what's next kind of thing. And now you know.
Another thing also, it involves weather changes. Obviously, now that we're in quote-unquote the official days of summer, I don't want to be out in the heat.
Well, that's why you do the drive thing. You just drive at 5 miles an hour with the air conditioning on, cruising for Pokemon.
I admit I did.
They are often on corners.
I've done that, and I've actually, thankfully, no close calls, but I have pulled off to the side to try to catch, some like rare whatever. It's like, oh, it's a Gyarados or something like that, and just
Gyarados, please. Yeah, I get what you're saying, man. Yeah. It's same way, everybody. And with this new content, would you be willing to go back to the game?
For player versus player, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely.
We'll try it out.
I want to have fun with it. I'm not a hardcore fanatic, but it was fun. It was something to do, and especially you want to have something you actually can interact with other people. So,
There you go. Speaking of ways to interact, the Nintendo Switch is really popular, and that's our next story.
Yeah. Just recently, Monster Hunter, what do we call it? Double X, 2X,
20,
X to the power
XX.
20, Roman numerals.
Little XX.
XX received a trailer for a Switch iteration to show out the Japanese version of Capcom's forthcoming role-playing game. And now it looks like the title is set to be an initial release that influenced the design theme for Nintendo's first special edition of its newest console. Unfortunately for the rest of the world, the unique system is a limited edition item and is only available in Japan, and according to its listing on Capcom's online store, it already has sold out completely. Nintendo stock jumped to its highest it's been since 2008 when the company announced it was bringing Monster Hunter to the Switch.
Yep, absolutely. Monster Hunter is a hugely popular franchise in Japan and other Asian countries. It's never made it to the United States, though. So people who have played it here have forgotten you had to get their import version of it. And thankfully, with the Switch, there's no different file system. So you could actually buy the Japanese version. And as long as you're cool with, not understanding text or having English voiceover work, you can still play the game.
Yeah.
So there is no file constraint this time around because the Nintendo Switches aren't geo-locked this time around, so which is kind of cool. But I'm like, oh, this is a popular franchise. I'm super excited to see it if it comes to the United States at all.
Have you played Monster Hunter?
No, but it's one of those games where it's like, oh, you hear good things about it. The entire game is killing monsters and like taking their crafting material and making better weapons to kill other monsters.
I've seen the promotional parts on it, like what's it called, like E3 or what was the other gaming?
I don't know.
Probably Nintendo's own version of that little thing.
Nintendo
but it had a crazy display.
Playhouse.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I seen this monster display for it. I didn't know like what it was, but it just looked awesome, and I just
No, it's like it's a really popular game, and especially if it was on the earlier version, so then it went to like the DS, and even there it
you
was
go.
super popular, just like people playing around and
Hmm.
going to all these weird locations and on the small handheld system and killing monsters. It's very much like a collector kind of thing.
Yeah, because like I
And
know
like each monster has like their own particular patterns of so like every monster almost like a mini boss battle,
Mhm.
and so you have to approach them a certain way, maybe with certain weapons, and it's like that challenge, like old school challenge, like you have to do this right or it's gonna wipe you out. It's not just button mashing
Yeah.
to kill stuff.
Other than novelties for collectible consoles, does it matter to you unless you're a fan, right? I think it matters if you're a fan of that
Yeah, I
franchise or
guess. I
something.
mean,
Because like
if you
Xbox,
and assuming you have the extra dough for a system and that you don't have it.
yeah, because like Xbox, of course, they made like their Gears of
Oh
War
no,
or whatever.
you want to go if you want to talk about collector's editions, the PlayStation Gold. There's a PlayStation 4 coming out that is entirely
Plated.
plated in gold, and it's officially from PlayStation. It's your gold plated PlayStation. Yep. So that is to me the ultimate swag.
I like the modified ones. Like this is they taken the old NES systems. I don't know if you've seen them. Like the little fan made ones are awesome. Where they turned like an old Nintendo and they turned it into a self-contained gaming system with the monitor and everything.
Oh, I thought like it's already a self-contained gaming.
Oh, I mean, but with the
system.
monitor,
Oh yeah, I see what you
instead
mean.
of having it added on.
Yeah.
But there are some ones that they tricked it out. They even did like a Legend of Zelda one that when you turn it on, it plays the theme song. You flip it up, or you have the little spinning Triforce, and it's awesome.
No, yeah,
I love those custom.
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, those are much rarer, and of course they cost thousands of dollars
Yeah.
on top of your regular cost of the actual consoles, also.
Yeah, because if you're just
Yeah.
about the game, just go right.
But hey, if you have the money, go do it,
Go
man.
nuts.
I mean, give everybody to charity, play custom gold-plated PlayStations, whatever. It's all the same. Okay, next story is also about the Nintendo Switch. In this case, it's going to be some good news for those who are curious about what's going to come out next for that console.
Yeah.
In January of this year, Nintendo detailed its online service. They said that for a monthly subscription, people would be getting NES and Super Nintendo games every single month, and they would have like a certain time frame to play them before they expired. Yes, that's exactly what the fans said. They shook their heads. They're like, "No, no. Why would you do that? This, in the age of online play, the games I buy should be mine, or the games I subscribe to should be mine." And for once, Nintendo said, "Oh, okay." So this week they reiterated the actual details of the online service, saying that it's going to be $20 a month for their online service, and subscribers will have access to a library of classic games with enhanced online play. And so there's not going to be any monthly releases. It's just going to be a whole library of stuff that you can go through, and you can have access to that library as long as you're a subscriber. So it's going to be more like Blockbuster.
Renting.
Yeah, almost like, well, not renting, but like you have unlimited subscription of all these games you want to play as long as you subscribe. So maybe Netflix would be a better model, I think. Yeah. So either way, so that's the way it goes, and so but it is an actual change from Nintendo's previous plan. So the fans were listened to for once.
So I like it. Nice variety.
Hey, someone sent us a heart. Awesome.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go with it being Corinne.
Corinne.
Yeah, Corinne.
Corinne. We've met before.
So there you go.
Good people.
Thank you for the hearts,
Good
everyone
people.
who's watching live on Facebook.
She's awesome. But yeah, that was the thing I was looking forward to. But I was just waiting for it to become, well, technically it is on a mobile device.
No, that's part of the thing. It's a mobile device, plus it's also something you can play on your screen.
Yeah.
So far, there haven't been as many mobile exclusives. Like everything that's been really super pretty and popular, like Legend of Zelda or the Zelda, whatever it's
The
called,
old games, yeah.
has
Classics.
been like on the big screen. It's the prettiest. Like, hey, you can play it handheld. It is just not as good of an experience because the graphics are shrunk down. I would say the only other one that's kind of caught my eye was like the Street Fighter one that came out recently, but that's like $40, and I'm like, it's a little expensive for like a 20-year-old game.
Yeah, and it's just slightly upgraded. You know, it's not something dramatic.
No, yeah, but
2 new characters.
on the other
and
hand,
graphics.
with just this, standard Nintendo, it's a 2-player system because each one of those controllers can come off and be its own little controller. So that is kind of a plus that it's inherently a 2-player system. So that's something, I guess. But nothing's really catching my Mario at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's probably when it's going to get like the next big boom of games.
Yeah.
Is towards Christmas.
What's it called? What is the name of that one Mario game where he has the hat with eyeballs?
Oh, that's in like the next Nintendo Mario World or something. I don't remember what it's called though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's Nintendo stuff. On to Transformers.
Yeah.
Edgar, this one's specific for Edgar.
Yeah. Officially announced yesterday, converting Cybertron is coming to light our darkest hour. Converting Cybertron, which seems to be the name of Hasbro, is currently going with for this $149.99 Toys R Us exclusive. Should look familiar to longtime Transformers fans. That's because it's a, what do you go, Redeco?
Yes, sure.
Okay, Redeco.
Or redo.
A redo. One of my favorite figures from 2006 Transformers Cybertron Primus. So it's literally a planet.
Yes. This is coming from specifically from the next movie Transformers last night, when Cybertron is coming to Earth in some form.
And it actually transforms and becomes a gigantic robot.
Yeah. For a gigantic robot in disguise as a planet. Which is always weird to me. Like, well, you're already a planet. Why do you need to also be a giant robot?
And this is actually one of two. This is actually the good guy planet. There's actually a bad guy planet called Unicron, which has his own little ring on it, and it becomes one massive thing. It is awesome. I like it. I already have it, in a way that I have the original.
Yeah.
This is the revamped version.
This is the one specifically for Transformers last night, which is coming out. And so this is probably a spoiler if you're going to watch the movie, but nothing from that movie should be too surprising. No. This is not a heavy plot movie. No. Optimus is conscripted by the bad guys, and he goes on a murdering rampage to convert Earth to Cybertron. I don't even have to watch the movie, and I know the plot just from the previews. So, but you don't go for the plot. No. You go for the Transformer robots and the action, if that's what you're gonna go watch. But this is definitely a super cool toy, though.
The toy looks cool. Don't get me wrong. If I had just money to burn, I'll get it. I would get it just for the sake of saying that I own it. But technically, I already own it. So I just like the updated version of it. They put more of the translucent colors on it, the darker scheme. They put the Cybertronian / looking Asian writing on the side. Yeah,
the Cybertronian text. Yeah,
exactly. So it's cool. The one thing that I noticed, I don't know if you caught online, that's a new exclusive for Transformers, a figure. It's by Valvoline. Valvoline has.
Oh no, I saw that. It's given away for like some tanks of gas or something.
Kind of. If you buy 5 quarts of their oil, you get an exclusive, limited to 5,000 little Valvoline Transformer. Valvatron.
Those are the ones that actually become the best collector's editions, if I'm not mistaken.
Limited
editions, and they're also for like these very specific franchises, and just while supplies last, because they're tie-ins to some of their franchise, and so you're never going to see them in toy stores.
Exactly.
And so those are the little tiny ones that people like in 20 years from now see like, oh, I remember seeing that at Valvoline or McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, technically I wanted to, but I don't even know if it transforms. But either way. Transformers, new stuff coming out.
So it's a cool toy.
Yeah.
Go get it if you have the cash, I guess. And you're into Transformers. Okay, on to something I thought was kind of cool. Studio Gilby, beloved iconic animation. If you've ever seen Totoro or My Neighbor Totoro or any of the other franchises from them, they're going to do a big old like Disneyland park-like experience for that studio's intellectual properties. It's going to come out about 2020 apparently, so we have a couple years until it's actually finished. But this is going to be a full-on theme park experience for an animation studio's productions basics. So you're going to have like a Totoro Village. They're going to see like Howl's Moving Castle. You're going to have Princess Mononoke there. My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away. All those movies are from this studio. Some of the most famous animated movies in the world are from the studio. If it's not Disney, it's probably the studio. If it's like really good, animation style. So it's going to come out about the same time as the company's next film, which is going to be called Goro the Caterpillar. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I can't go because it's in I think it's in Japan, the Aichi Prefecture Expo Park. So there you go. But we're looking at the visual of it, and it looks pretty darn nifty. We'll let the audience see on Facebook Live.
Yeah, so it's pretty much set up just like your basic theme park, like Disneyland map and everything. It even looks drawn almost like in the same art style. But do you think, honestly, is it that popular, the Studio Ghibli works, stories, enough to create a whole theme park based around it?
In Japan, yeah, absolutely. In Japan, there's already a Totoro Village. In, I believe, this area, they're actually expanding around it to create the rest of the park. And it's one of the most popular tourist spots in the country. Because, again, not all of these films made it to the U.S. or into the West.
Yeah.
This studio has a huge catalog of not just anime stuff, but other things too. But mostly famously known for their animation and their anime stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's much more popular in Japan and in other Asian countries than it is in here. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to get like a ton of investors if you can at least prove that there's like a ton of interest.
So it's going to be like the tables have turned. We will be the international tourists going to their country to go visit their theme parks.
I don't know that it's going to be as many American tourists, but there's going to be a certain, epic journey experience for the huge anime fans.
Yeah, because I had friends that go to like Tokyo Disney, all the other ones, Euro Disney. There's supposedly one happening somewhere in, I forgot what specific country in the Middle East, where they're having like a decked out Marvel. Or no, Gotham City is a whole DC operated thing.
Oh,
like a Warner Brothers land, if you will, but it's all DC.
Is it like the it's called the Emirates or something?
Something like that.
Well, there's like this really small country in like the Middle East that has so much money because it's all oil sheiks, and so they do things like large land masses of like solar farms and just like these really weird theme park projects because they're all like the people who purchase them are just rich, and so they literally have millions of dollars to blow on these weird little projects. So that might be one of them.
Yeah, I would totally do it. I would want to check it out and everything. The only thing to me, it's always obviously because of the characters.
Yep.
Mostly they're Americanized, so they would have to get an American.
Oh, they import plenty of people with enough money that they throw around over there.
Exactly.
Okay. Now speaking of people who look like other people, we're going to talk about the Voldermort movie. That's right, folks. There is actually going to be a prequel Voldermort film, and this is actually going to be a fan film.
Yeah.
So it's not from Warner Brothers. It's not officially from J.K. Rowling, but they have been given the permission to make it.
Yeah.
And if you go watch the trailer, we're link in the show notes. It looks like a pretty decent storyline. It's basically set before Voldemort, when he was Tom Riddle still, and he's killed one particular person. I can't remember her name. It's somewhere in there. You go look at the trailer. They tell you what it is. He kills somebody, but he hasn't been arrested. And so there's one dark wizard who thinks that he might be the guy, and she's running him down. So this is after he's left Hogwarts, but it's before he became Voldemort. So there's like that big gap there. What was he doing? And so this film looks to tell that story potentially. And of course, the people who are making it finally got legal permission. So I'd assume that they're going to be making a new Kickstarter campaign to get the funding going. But you catch trailer on YouTube for it.
So the teaser alone looked really good, especially for the graphics. I was like, oh, it wasn't like cheesy fan made. No offense to the fan made, but they poured a lot of effort.
All that stuff was definitely from like good pro quality special effects stuff, like wizard lightning going everywhere.
Oh yeah, so this is him while he still has a nose and hair on his head.
Yes, he's just beginning his transformation from Tom Riddle into Voldemort, who he's going to be eventually.
I just wonder how they would decide to come up with that name.
Voldemort?
Yeah.
It's an anagram of Tom Riddle. I think it is. Tom Voldemort something Riddle is like the full name.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Okay, on to our next story. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman came out this week. It's already getting rave reviews. Lots of money being made by Wonder Woman with this. It's already hit. They've already made back the money that I think they've invested in it, at least. But not everyone is quite so happy to see Wonder Woman come out. The movie's actually been banned in the country of Lebanon because the actress who plays Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, is Israeli and served in the armed forces there. So this is kind of a weird reason, but Lebanon has a lot of issues, and this is just one of them, I guess.
Yeah, something about chicks, man.
Yeah, I think my personal, this is total speculation, by the way. I think they're going to be underground screenings of Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, they do that
in Lebanon. Just like people like throwing up sheets. They got a digital copy or rip or whatever, and they're going to do like these weird little underground screenings of Wonder Woman in these countries. And I think that's the most beautiful form of free speech, is that people are willing to pirate these and just because of love of a character or of a franchise that like, or what it symbolizes. So I'm like, it's kind of cool.
Exactly. I wanted to see like a movement happen. Not just like a feminist pro pro women kind of deal.
You mean
but
like the movement for that men were suing movie theaters that were having all female screenings of the movie? Like,
all female screenings?
yeah, that's a
me.
legitimate story that some theaters, for like on Friday and Saturday of this week, they were doing just all women screenings of the film, so no men were allowed.
So the Lilith Fair of Wonder
And
Woman.
so some dudes got all hurt about it. Yeah. What do you mean I can't? What do you mean my male privilege doesn't allow me to do a thing?
Is it the penis, really? The penis is what not letting me watch this movie?
And so a group of men have decided to sue over it. Yeah. I'm like,
No.
pick. There are much more important things to sue about. But hey, guys, if you
like I said, Wonder Woman was the movie that everybody wanted to be the movement for pro women. Pro
it's a movie.
I know,
but for a lot of women, it is a wonderful symbol of something that they grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was the only character that they saw in the mainstream as being a strong female superhero.
Mm-hmm.
She's not the feminist icon, and if the movie does poorly or does well, it shouldn't be a reflection of like her as that figure. But for a lot of women, it's like, yeah, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I get that. Now, speaking of things that are totally kind of cool, Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah. If you've seen Godzilla, you've seen Kong, the Skull Island. Godzilla is coming back next year for the sequel of King of Monsters. And then finally, the two will fight. Now a director for the epic clash has been chosen. Adam Wingard, the director of You're Next, The Guest, and most recently, Blair Witch, has signed to direct 2020's. Got some time, guys.
Yep.
2020's Godzilla vs. Kong.
So by the time that Studio Gilby's theme park is going to be finished, we'll have a new King Kong versus Godzilla movie because they're basically script writing now, and they got a director finally, and so now they can start on the process of like getting us without casting. Did you see the last King Kong movie?
Actually, see the Kong the Skull Island one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw it.
It was really good. Even April, my wife was like, "Oh, this is not horrible." So that's high praise.
Yeah, coming from because honestly, I saw what was the one with Jack Black.
The first one, the first King Kong, the 1920s version.
Yeah.
Which I thought like was a weird redo.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't directed by Steven Jackson.
So, yeah.
From The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. You think he'd make a little more effort, maybe because there wasn't enough water.
No, he's very good about being faithful to material.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the material that he had to work with. I did like that 1970s post-Vietnam War kind of thing. It gave it a much more modernized feel, and it does sort of also help explain why Godzilla and King Kong can exist at the same time. Otherwise, like, Godzilla's from the 1920s, so he's 100 years out of date by the time Godzilla rolls around. And when they clash, it's like, that's boring. But apparently, So you're going to actually see a monster throwdown. And at the end of King Kong, there are like, I don't know if you saw the after credits.
Yeah.
There are scenes of like Godzilla, Mothra, Ghidorah, a bunch of classic Godzilla monsters. Like he's not the only giant monster around.
Yeah.
And that's their hint to the audience saying, we're doing a bunch of monster movies, and if go buy these things.
Because honestly, as much as I would love to see King Kong versus Godzilla, me personally, because I'm a big robot fan, I want to see Mechagodzilla. I don't think they're going to do it, but I would love to see Mechagodzilla.
That would be fun. Maybe not this next movie, but like movies 3 or 4 or whatever, assuming that all these movies make money.
It's true.
That's one of the things I was like, if this movie tanks, we're not going to see any of those. So it's always like, fan
film. Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm totally saying I love the special towards the end because you hear the classic, iconic Godzilla screech?
Roar,
yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
oh my, that made me nerd boner.
So he has one right now.
Yeah.
You can't see it, folks.
But for the right price,
yeah. Patreon supporters, folks.
There you go.
There you go.
See my boner.
Okay, next story is going to be out of Hollywood. This week it's been confirmed that a portion of Star Wars' next movie will be filmed in Mission Viejo, California. And they're looking for some extras, about several hundred apparently. So if you are interested, I have no idea who to contact. Well, there's going to be a casting call once they actually start getting production in. So if go contact an extra agent, and because there's a whole industry around getting extras for films and franchises, and it's a thing. So, but it is desert weather, so be aware of that. That's what that area is.
So especially I don't. Have you ever I was interested. I've had friends that worked in the entertainment business, and they've done some extra work and everything.
Entertainment, were they porn stars? Is that what that quote was for?
Some of them.
Okay, there you
but,
go. Okay.
But the thing is, when you're an extra, though, honestly, don't
Were they
expect...
porn stars or like porn minimals?
Yes.
Yes, okay. That's what I thought.
But the main thing is when you're an extra, you're literally just in the background. Don't obviously expect one to get paid, if anything, because you're just doing it for the exposure.
So on a large scale like this, it kind of depends on one. If you're like in a big crowd, you get lunch.
Yeah.
You get meals.
If you're lucky, yeah, there's catering, but you're going to be waiting around.
Disney
lots of
can
times.
afford catering.
Yeah, and don't expect to have like really one-on-one with the main stars and everything.
Why would you?
You know, because if anything, if you're gonna be an extra, hopefully you're one of those extras that they do those special biographies where like it was like in
like the guy with the ice cream holder, with like the ice cream machine.
Well, there's that, and there's like in a
the
Teen Wolf, the guy that had that was his penis out in the audience kind of thing, or the guy that got kicked in the background by a horse or whatever.
I thought that is the guy who the stormtrooper hit his head on the before he was running through the door.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's one of those guys. Yeah, sometimes you make it through, or you get on screen shot. I know there's different pay scales depending if your face is shown on screen or if you speak at all, like your pay scale goes up. But in general, minimum money, slightly better than minimum wage.
If you want that, at least to have it on your IMDb credit, go do it.
Yeah, or if you just want to have fun, you just want to be a part of the franchise, just be aware that it is actual work.
Oh yeah,
it's not just fun. So there you go. Okay, so that's kind of it. We just have our movie trailer showdown, folks, and we're almost done with the show. 3 trailers enter, 1 leaves the winner. We have 3 trailers, including Oats Studio Volume 1. We have a Baby Driver and A Rough Night. None of those titles are probably familiar to you, but they are actually decent trailers. Oats Studio Volume 1 comes from the guy who directed District 9, Elysium, Chappie. Oats Studio is a new production company he's making, and this is going to be the first short film that he's producing. It's a interesting, go check it out, of course. We'll have a link in the show notes. But it's like lizard aliens that taken over the world, and there's like a resistance movement, and it's kind of cool. It's very short, though. Baby Driver sounds absolutely stupid or like a little cartoon movie. But it's surprisingly not. It's about a new driver on this heist gang, and it has huge names. I mean, it has the guy from Mad Men. It has Jamie Foxx in it. It has John Hamm, and there's a bunch of people in there. Action, blows up, cars. They're definitely trying to pull from like the Fast and Furious franchise, combine them with heist movies and
Italian job.
Like they're trying to go for like the Suicide Squad vibe in like their sense of humor kind of thing going on. Bad guy story basically, but with funny and interesting. So that's the vibe for Baby Driver. And then there's Rough Night, which is a female comedy about a group of old women who were friends in college, and now they're older. One's at a bachelor party, but accidentally murdered the stripper. And hilarity ensues. It kind of feels like Weekends at Bernie's with an all-chick crew.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see, but I liked them all. Which one did you like the best, though? Which one is the winner for you, man?
Honestly, because it just grabbed my attention because of the weirdness. And I'm still surprised at the name of the title, Oats Studio.
That's the Oats. That's the name of the company. So this would be Volume 1 of their first film.
Yeah. So that one.
There you go. That was mine too. It's really that interesting of a sci-fi. If you've ever seen District 9, Elysium, Chappie, these are all from that guy, and he's really invested in great special effects. A lot of it's practical.
The stories are well done.
Yeah, I mean those lizard aliens are all practical effects with like some CGI cover over, but because he uses so many practical effects, it feels real and it feels interesting. And he's very good about his budget. So I'm like, very weird stuff, but it's also really cool sci-fi material. So that was my favorite as well. So there you go, folks. I'm going to drop it out on the screen for the people who are watching the video version. But that is our winner.
Yeah, Rough Night was kind of funny to me because they had the girl, I don't know her name, I apologize, but the one with the wore the glasses in the Ghostbusters movie.
Yep.
She's in it, and honestly, because she plays an Australian friend. I felt like honestly the role could have been played by Rebel Wilson just because of the accent alone.
Oh, I thought you meant the big girl. Like she could have been Rebel Wilson.
Well, no,
the other one is from like Saturday Night Live, and she's doing an Australian thing.
Yeah, that's her. But the other girl, they said just because she's a bigger girl, no offense to her, she's awesome. She was in Workaholics. I don't know if she does stand up comedy because she does comedy, like comedy movies, comedy shows, but I don't know if she does stand up comedy. But she's been an okay girl. I would definitely check her out and other stuff. But definitely watching the O Studio, the part that got me the surprise the most was seeing the seeing the Texas flag. That's Texas, right? One star, then one.
Yeah,
one
that's
giant,
Texas.
So I'm like, so this place is taking place in Texas, or a guy from Texas? And if it is in Texas, there is like, how come all the people in Texas have like British accents? So I was like, it was kind of.
I don't think anybody in that movie has a British accent.
Well, at least Euro-ish.
I think there's one Australian, and that's it.
Okay, then he had the most lines in because that's the only person I was hearing talking through the whole thing.
There you go. I may have to watch the trailer again, but maybe still the red band version. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's it. We're done with the show, folks. Thanks a lot for listening and watching. We're all finished. And if you want to help support the podcast, go share this episode with your friends, comment on it, like it on YouTube, or just like the podcast on Facebook and Twitter. Those are all nice ways. Yeah. And of course, anything else you want to help us out with, you can find it at
geekbytespodcast.com/support.
So that's it. Thanks a lot for listening and watching and hanging out with us and geeking out with us, folks. Until we can see you again next week, remember to go geek out about something. Goodbye, everybody.
See you guys.